Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we're talking about Captain America the Winter Soldier. Let's go. This movie is actually really good. It creates great suspense because, S.H.I.E.L.D. is compromised and you don't know who to trust. As Nick Fury said, don't trust no one, and there's only 3 people we can really trust in this movie, and that's, of course, the Golden Boy, Captain America, Black Widow, and Nick Fury. But Nick Fury is not in most of this movie. He is towards the end, but whatever, he's just there for exposition. I like how this movie utilizes paranoia. So for example, look at this scene.
Records.
Confirmed.
You see, the tension is high, even though he's in a familiar facility that is usually a pretty safe haven for him, right? S.H.I.E.L.D. is now a battle against himself. He doesn't know who to trust, but of course, like every Marvel movie, they have to throw some corny shit in there.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
But what's a Marvel movie without a little bit of corny shit, right? Let's get into something else now. The Winter Soldier is like the first actual good villain of the MCU, and he was so interesting here. Every time he popped up, you learned something new about him. Even on the highway where it was just a bunch of action, I feel like I learned a lot about him, because when he was fighting Steve Rogers for the first time, you really see his brute strength and you think, hey, holy shit, this dude actually means business. I mean, sure, we've seen stronger villains than him. We can say Malekith was stronger than him at one point, but the Winter Soldier is just so much more menacing. I mean, just take a look at how they portray his brute strength through a fight scene. I just think it's amazing how they use the environment to show how menacing and strong the Winter Soldier actually is. That leads me to another thing. This movie uses the environment a lot to portray its story, which is great storytelling, and it also uses great camera angles to utilize this. Just take a look at this example. So let's take a look at this camera work right here. They're about to get in a car crash, and the camera work is intense. It's pretty shaky and it's moving pretty erratically. And then boom, the crash is over and it's calm, and then they notice the Winter Soldier's coming, right back to the action, and the camera work is back to being shaky and erratic. You see, it's camera work like this that makes the movie very engaging. Not to mention that they have an amazing protagonist in Steve Rogers, Captain America. I mean, do I really need to explain this? He's just plain amazing. I found Black Widow enjoyable in this movie. It's the same thing as Iron Man 2. She played a pivotal role, but didn't take up like 2 hours of screen time, you know what I'm saying? She took up a decent amount but contributed a lot with that role, and I found it to be enjoyable. Nick Fury was cool in this movie. He showed up very little but contributed so much. I mean, he set up the whole plot, but that one scene where he's in his car and they jump him is so fucking stupid. Why is that a thing? It's so dumb. I don't get it. Whatever. I mean, it didn't ruin the movie, but it's just, I don't know, I just find it so dumb. It bothers me for no real reason. I didn't like Falcon in this movie. Spoiler alert, I never grow to like Falcon because he's kind of just there. He's kind of just a soldier. There's nothing to him. Come to think about it, he's always there. He comes out in Ant-Man. He's just a soldier. He's boring. He's basic. Yeah, I don't like Falcon, and I never will. I never will. Not in Civil War, not in Ant-Man, probably not in the Winter Soldier, Falcon, whatever it's gonna happen with that. Yeah, I'm not gonna like Falcon. You know what I just remembered? There was someone I really hated in this movie. He was a minor villain. I don't even remember his name, so I'm gonna just throw a picture of him up on the screen. Yeah, this guy. What the fuck was he doing in this movie? We didn't need him in this movie. He was useless. Yeah, just not good. There's one more thing I want to talk about before I give this a score, and that is Bucky Barnes. Was it good bringing him back as the Winter Soldier, or was it not? I mean, I can see both aspects. The bad of bringing him back, I mean, does it really make sense? I mean, a little bit, but everything is too aligned for that to happen. I mean, I feel like the explanation really isn't there. It's not concrete. I mean, I get it, but it's not an amazing explanation, honestly. But I think the aspect of bringing him back, the conflict that it brought within Steve Rogers, was good. Because we also have an emotional attachment to Bucky, or at least I did. In the first film, The First Avenger, we were shown that Bucky is a good guy, and he's been with Steve Rogers through thick and thin. So I want to see Steve pull Bucky out of this. I know there is good within Bucky. He's just caught within this mind control. I don't really know what it is by Hydra, but I really wanted to see him snap out of it. I mean, we got glimpses of it when he was like, I know Steve. No, I know him. I know that guy. But we never get it in this movie, and that's the best part. The ending credit scene where we see him show up to his own memorial, it was just plain amazing. Because there's so much uncertainty that was created. So many questions that will later be answered. Bucky was probably the best part of this movie. Now, the best part of this movie was probably Captain America, but it's a close second. Bucky was an amazing villain in this movie. I mean, he wasn't necessarily the main villain, but you know what I mean. Hydra's like the main villain of every Captain America movie. Anyways, Bucky was great in this movie, especially at the end scene where he saves Steve's life and drops him off on the shore, but he doesn't stay. He goes to find out who he truly is. I mean, damn, it's kind of powerful. I think I'm ready to give this movie a score. I mean, you guys know I think it's pretty good. I'm gonna have to give Captain America the Winter Soldier a score of 8 out of 10. The movie's just good. I mean, sure, there is some bad action scenes, a lot of corniness, a bad character in Falcon, and it's kind of clunky at times, but damn, they delivered on a lot of aspects that really matter the most, in my opinion. Amazing protagonist, amazing antagonist, the tension was high, you didn't know who to trust, good suspense, and that just overpowers the bad in this movie. And I can honestly see the argument of this being the best standalone MCU movie. Honestly, I see that argument, and I'm not going to try to dispute it. I mean, it may not be my favorite MCU movie, but on some level, I kind of do agree that this is the best MCU movie, even though another movie may rank higher. I mean, this movie fires on like almost all cylinders and doesn't have all the baggage that the other movies carry with them. So hey, on some level I kind of do agree with that statement, but let me know what you guys thought about the movie down below, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Late.